We salute every reporter, every producer, every editor, every photographer, every technician whose work keeps our democracy alive. This award is not just a ceremony. It is a testament to resilience and the enduring power of journalism. My name is Ankole Jibril Janko. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it is my singular honor to present my co-host, the beautiful Fatou Jammeh. Good evening, and you look stunning, Fatou Jammeh.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand on existing protocols and welcome you all to the Sada, the Karabaja, or Conference Center here in Bijilo. Like my co-host rightly said, it is such a magnificent day, a milestone that we're all celebrating tonight, celebrating our journalists. It is 10 years of celebrating success, excellence, selflessness, hard work, and dedication. I can't be more proud to be part of history tonight at the Sada Karabajara Conference Center here in Bijilo. My name is Fatou Jammeh, and I am honored and humbled to co-host this important event or auspicious occasion here in the Gambia as we honor journalists and storytellers in this country. Humbled, and thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you.
Before we proceed, ladies and gentlemen, I kindly invite every one of you to please, kindly and humbly, rise. Let's applaud Gambian journalists for their dedication, their hard work under difficult circumstances with such meager resources. But despite all that, they are out there to defend the truth, to keep the public informed. Please, kindly rise for Gambian journalists. Thank you. Please kindly take your seat.
Thank you very much.
Well, next, we would like to recognize a lot of distinguished guests here, Fatmata. Yes. We have the Honorable Minister of Information, Dr. Ismaila Cisse. We have the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly of the Gambia, of course, Sidin Jai. We are honored also to have, I call her mom, Madam Ami Sisoho. Ma'am, it's a pleasure to have you here. And we have our own president, but let me allow you to do that.
Thank you very much. It gives me the greatest pleasure to also recognize and acknowledge the presence of Aissatou Keita, Madam President of the Gambia Press Union. I can't be more proud of you tonight. Thank you for your service, your commitment and dedication as well to service. I would also want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Badaram Bay, a former Managing Director of Afrisol Gambia Limited. Thank you very much. And also would like to acknowledge the presence of the Chinese ambassador to the Gambia.
Of course.
Of course, yes. And of course, the members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps. We would like to recognize and acknowledge the presence of former Minister of Information, Mr. Ali Demba Jawar, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen here tonight at the Sada Jawara Conference Center. It's a pleasure to have you here with us tonight to celebrate the work of journalists and also, of course, also to give them all their flowers and acknowledge the work that they do and continue to do as well. And one thing we have to put emphasis as well, Sankule, is that journalism is not a crime. It's important that we put it out there. We're partners in development, critical partners for that matter. I would want to give a round of applause to all our nominees for tonight. And we say congratulations to all of you. Whether you go home with an award or not, you are a winner and your work has been recognized once you've been nominated for the GPU National Journalism Awards 2025. A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
And of course, we'll also like to acknowledge the presence of the Clerk of the Gambia. for National Assembly, of course, Mr. Mbai. You are welcome as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the panel of judges. It's been a rigorous process, so many applications. We'd also like to acknowledge those who made this celebration possible, really. Please join me in applauding the National Journalism Awards Committee for putting together a spectacular 10-year anniversary award, please. Well, at this point, Faru, you like to inform the technicians to prepare for the National Anthem. Please kindly rise for the National Anthem. Thank you. Technicians. Before we proceed, I would like to, first of all, acknowledge sponsors, but a specific emphasis on the National Social Protection Agency, our main sponsor. Please, thank you so very much for showing your support. And of course, the list of sponsors, we'd like to thank all of you. They include the Chinese Embassy, the Gambia Football Federation, the Gambia Tourism Board, GRA, QCell, Mohamed Jah, AfriCell, Lasting Solutions, R&A, Creation Plus, Jaws Design, Majak, DG Construction and Real Estate, Gambia Revenue Authority, Nene Che Yasin Seka, Spice Hub, Chef Bojang, Le Maison de Bin, Yasmin's Visual, Jasmine Events and Deco, and of course, National Human Rights Commission. Please, a round of applause for our sponsors, please.
Thank you very much, Zankule. We understand the role of partners and sponsors, of course, is very key, so we'd like to acknowledge and say thank you once again for standing by the Gambia Press Union. At this juncture, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Zankule would like to acknowledge the presence of the former president of the Gambia Press Union, Mr. MS Jallo.
We would like to acknowledge
MS Barada.
We'd like to, of course, acknowledge the presence of Mohamed Esba, our former president, who's done a tremendous job during his tenure. Please, let's recognize him and give him a round of applause. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me at this juncture to kindly request, of course, the presence of Madam Prezi. I call her Aissatou Keita to deliver a welcoming statement. A round of applause for Aissatou, please. You're such a gentleman, you know. MashaAllah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For somebody that is used to going in and out, I've been forced to sit at one place, which might be very difficult for me this night. But unfortunately, I'll have to abide by the rules of Therese and Annette. The Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, development partners, sponsors of the National Journalism Awards 2025, Chairman Panel of Judges, the GPU National Journalism Awards Committee, the GPU Board, Secretary General and the Secretariat staff, media chiefs and veteran journalists, members of the academia, civil society and the media, and of course, our distinguished guest all the way from Dakar, Senegal, Mr. Seth Tijan Sy. Good evening to you all. As the president of the Gambia Press Union, I am honored deeply to address this auspicious occasion, being the 10th edition of the GPU National Journalism Awards under the theme, A Decade of Excellence, Strengthening Journalism for Democracy, Accountability, and the Safety of Journalists. This year's event holds particular significance as it is 10 years since a previous leadership of the Gambia Press Union conceived and presided over the first National Journalism Awards in its current form and magnitude to honor the best works of journalists and Gambian journalism. We thank them for blazing this trail and for the foresight to promote excellence in journalism. The award has since become a huge motivating factor to all journalists to pursue stories that enhance transparency in government, accountability, and justice. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's theme was chosen to highlight the role of the journalism promoting democracy and political accountability, as well as the need to ensure the safety of journalists in the Gambia. In several societies around the world, including in the Gambia, professional journalism has over the years shown a positive influence on our democratic dispensation, civic engagement, transparency, and accountability in government. Stories that span several journalism bits and address critical governance issues like promoting the rule of law and also shedding light on transitional justice issues, as well as social and economic challenges that our country is faced with. Such groundbreaking stories that we celebrated over the years were done with utmost professionalism and in upholding our obligations and to strengthen journalism's watchdog role. It is without doubt that tonight we will see higher standards of journalism and impactful storytelling, recognized as the winning stories become better year on year. Ladies and gentlemen, despite this progress, Gambian journalists still operate under an environment of unfavorable media laws. Of notable concern is the enactment of the Criminal Offences Act 2025, which replicated the provision of false publication broadcasting from the old criminal code. This law, which prescribes imprisoned journalists and heavy fines, goes against the promotion of democracy and accountability in governance, and a violation of press freedom in particular and freedom of expression in general. We also note with concerns new laws that are being made, like the Cybercrime Bill 2023, which has provisions that go beyond addressing false news online with a direct attempt to punish investigative journalism and to kill transparency and accountability in government. Another challenge that journalists face today is access to information, especially information related to government contracts and probes into the use of public funds. We note that accurate and publicly accessible government information is fundamental to the accountable democratic governance that we seek to achieve as a country. However, despite the existence of an access to information law, full implementation is yet to be achieved. While there has been significant improvement in proactive disclosure of public information among some institutions of government, challenges exist with regards to the disclosure of public information upon request, as most institutions have yet to designate information officers and are unresponsive to requests. We acknowledge the progress made in press freedom and freedom of expression over the years, and we commend the government for the gains made, including the enactment of the Access to Information Law in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, we are glad to share a piece of good news. We are happy to announce that after several attempts, the government of the Gambia has finally allocated a plot of land to the Gambia Press Union, measuring 25 by 25 in Bruceby. The idea to build a national press banter is to house the Gambia Press Union Secretariat, the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, the GPU affiliates, and the Media Council of the Gambia. Once achieved, this will end the frequent relocation of our secretariat in our 46 years of existence and address challenges of unaffordable rent prices. I will take credit for this particular development, although my predecessor started this undertaking to ensure that the GPU gets a land. From the time of Sheriff Bojang to my immediate predecessor, Mohamed Esba. But again, it came through under my tenure, so I'll take credit for it. The objectives for the building project are as follows: to ensure the sustainability of the GPU and its subsidiaries and affiliates, to generate some funds that will contribute to the long-term sustainability of the Gambia Press Union, but also to expand the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication. As you've seen, the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication has its success written all over our faces. And with time, we need to develop the school, which is why we'll also look for a place in order to be able to expand the school. The plan is to build a 5-story made up of 13 offices, 2 conference rooms, 12 classrooms that includes TV and radio studios, 20 guest rooms, and stores, among other facilities. We will be looking forward to the continuous support from the government and the development partners to realize this long-term objective of the GPU to finally have a home and to continue our long-term commitment to media development in particular and national development in general. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to conclude by extending my gratitude to the Awards Committee for their outstanding work to making sure that this 10th year anniversary becomes a success. But particular mention to Therese Gomez and Annette Camara. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. The GPU board and the staff for their unwavering support, and our partners for their continued commitment to the success of the National Journalism Awards. We hope for increased partnerships next year to celebrate more excellence in journalism, but also a special mention to our distinguished editors in the various newsrooms that have been able to do remarkably well to ensure that most of our reporters are able to uphold the key ethics of the profession. Let us continue to work together to uphold the principles of press freedom, freedom of expression, and democracy in the Gambia. I thank you all for your kind attention.
One more time, a round of applause for the President of the Gambia Press Union. I mean, I'm sure we have, government representatives, our partners are here as well. But in the same room, when you have the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, you have the Minister of Information, of course, the Director of Press and Public Relations at the Presidency. What more can you ask for? Thank you very much once again, the President of the Gambia Press Union. At this juncture, we would like to welcome the Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, none other than Modou Diouf, to come on stage and hand over the Press Freedom Heroes and GPU Ambassadors Award. Please welcome on stage, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. I stand on existing protocols and to welcome you, all of our guests who are here tonight. I would like to call on members of the Gambia Press Union Board to join me on stage, please. Where's Mariama, Paul, and Aisatu, please? This is a time when we honor people who have made distinguished contributions to journalism, to the promotion of press freedom and the protection of press freedom, and the promotion of freedom of expression. And this is the Gambia Press Union Press Freedom Heroes Award, given to individuals and institutions who have promoted and defended press freedom, freedom of expression, and have rendered selfless services in support of the media and media development in the Gambia. Tonight we are awarding 5 people. And for the first citation that we are to read, this award is going to Agnes John Tomasi. For more than 3 decades, Agnes John Tomasi has been a quiet but formidable force in journalism. Soft-spoken yet unwaveringly principled, she has built a reputation not only for her editorial leadership, but for something exceptional in the African fiercely competitive media landscape, an instinct for spotting talent early, and an unshakable commitment to nurturing it. Now the head of the Dakar-based West Africa Democracy Radio, Agnes Tomasi is recognized as one of the most consistent champions of young African journalists, particularly young women seeking to enter a field that can often be unforgiving. Her story, according to her colleagues, is as much about personal resilience as it is about service to the next generation. Like most Gambian young journalists, at the time, Agnes Tomasi began her career as a fresh-faced reporter at Radio Gambia, joining the state broadcaster straight out of high school in the early 1990s, a period of political turbulence and limited press freedom. Yet even in her earliest years, she stood out for her composure, her clarity of thought, and her instinctive understanding of how to tell stories that mattered. Over time, Agnes moved through the ranks, becoming one of the most respected voices in Gambian radio. Still at a young age, she earned a scholarship to Nairobi, Kenya, for a media production course. And due to her performance, she was given another scholarship to proceed to the International Institute of Journalism in Berlin, Germany, and later to the Citadel of Radio, Deutsche Welle, in Bonn, Germany. With her journalism skills and a stint as a communication officer and a consultant, broadened her horizons further. But it was her transition into regional broadcasting that widened her influence. At WADR, a transitional station dedicated to democracy, governance, and human rights, Agnes found a platform to not just to oversee programming, but to shape the very culture of West African journalism. She has this rare ability to see what someone can become long before they see it themselves, says Sheriff Bojang Jr., a Gambian journalist who is a former president of the Gambia Press Union who worked under Agnes Tomasi. She can also be a beautiful dictator in the newsroom, according to Sheriff. Through training, coaching, and constant engagement with emerging reporters across West Africa, she has helped cultivate a new wave of storytellers who approach their work with integrity, curiosity, and courage. Under her guidance, dozens of young reporters from the Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, Togo, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria have moved into leadership roles in their own organization, and many credit her for giving them their first real sense of confidence. Part of what makes Agnes Tomasi's work so significant is her commitment to opening doors for women in the media. In a sector where women often struggle for visibility and endure discrimination, she insists on bringing them to the center, pushing for their recruitment, advocating for their promotion, and confronting the subtle biases that shape newsroom culture. She has become a model of what leadership can look like for young women who rarely see themselves reflected in senior roles in the media. She tells younger colleagues that journalism is a service, a responsibility to the public, not a route to personal elevation. And it is this ethos, more than anything, that defines her legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the GPU's 2025 Press Freedom Hero, Agnes Tomasi, on stage. The award will be presented by the President of the Gambia Press Union.
Good evening. I've been asked just now to share a few words, and I know what it means usually. Some of us love being behind the mic and behind production, not in front. And I would humbly, as I stand before you all, with all protocol respectfully observed, from the minister to the last person, and to start with, I will give God the glory to say thanks be to God. It has been, my life has been a journey, a lovely journey, a journey where people loved me and supported me. And that is why I am here today, and that is why I love supporting others. There are a lot of people. If I say thanks, thanks, thanks to God, to my parents, to my family, husband, children, sisters, brothers, and everyone, I will start with Radio Gambia. Radio Gambia has been a training ground. Radio Gambia has been a preparatory stage that has brought some of us to where we are today. How I wish it could continue to be that strong, formidable training institution it has been. I am not here to give a speech, but I would have explained what I mean when I say this. Some of us were formed and structured, modeled to this level because of Radio Gambia, no matter where we went after Radio Gambia. And I would say that. I say it all the time, anybody I meet. And today you have them. I remember all of them. And every day I say thanks that I had the opportunity to meet them. To GPU, I say thank you. To be honest, never once did I dream that I would be standing here today to receive this award. I did not think about it. When I had the message and it was this week, it was like, wow. It was really a surprise. So I thank you. I thank you for recognizing. I know you would see the long citation. It was not even written by me. When GPU asked me to send a citation, I said, I normally do not talk about myself. Let me reach out to the people I have worked with. And one of them said, I will write it. I can say everything about you. And no word is there from me. It's from the people I work with who recognized me. Even my family looked at it and they're like, my daughter, my eldest daughter said, Mommy, we can't add anything to this. This one even seems to know you more than us. And it's no other person that Sheriff Bojang Jr., with the support of my family, that did the citation. So thank you. And to all of you, I say thank you, because this field is a field where all of us struggle, all of us work hard, all of us have the intention to bring about good. Journalism is not only about bringing out the ills. The ills are brought out to bring more structure, to better those that are not going the right way or things that are not going the right way. But journalism is meant to build. It is meant to develop. It is meant to further democracy, human rights. It is meant to further the human person, the human being. And like I said, I'm not here to give a speech. Thank you all. To the female journalists here, thank you. God bless you. And I wish I continue.
Thank you. They will bring this for you. Thank you. The next award that we're presenting tonight is going to Honorable Justice Ibrahim Jaite. The Gambia Press Union hereby presents the Press Freedom Hero Award for 2025 to Honorable Justice Ibrahim Jaite in recognition of his exceptional and principled service to the nation, his unwavering commitment to justice, and his steadfast defense of transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. Justice Jaite has demonstrated exemplary leadership in the judiciary, consistently upholding his solemn oath to dispense justice without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. Through his judgments, conduct, and public service, he has strengthened public confidence in the judiciary and contributed significantly to advancing the cause of justice in our democracy. This award further honors Justice Jaite's profound appreciation of the media as a vital partner in the administration of justice. He has consistently affirmed that a free, vibrant, and responsible press is indispensable to ensuring transparency in judicial processes, enhancing public understanding of the law, and promoting accountability in all spheres of governance. His principled stance, courage, and integrity embody the highest ideals of judicial office and reflects values that resonate deeply with the mission and vision of the Gambia Press Union. In presenting this award, the Gambia Press Union recognizes Justice Jaite as a champion of justice, promoter of access to information, and a defender of press freedom, and a distinguished servant of the people. Honorable Justice Jaite is proactive in promoting access to information to journalists covering cases before his court. He often asks his staff to give maximum support to journalists when they need information about cases he is presiding upon. He is known to be the first High Court judge to allow live video coverage in the case, the state versus Yankuba Toure. So let me take that again. Known to be the first High Court judge to allow live coverage in the case, the state versus Yankuba Toure, Justice Jaite is seen as a role model in bench bar press relations, according to court reporters. What is fascinating about Justice Jaite's court is that he ensures that we get everything we need to make our work easy, says journalist Yankuba Jallo of the Fourier newspaper. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to please welcome on stage Aliu Kaba Jawara, who would be receiving the GPU 2025 Press Freedom Hero Award on behalf of Justice Jaite. This award will be presented by board member Mariama Bojang.
Good evening. My name is Aliu Kaba Jawara. I am clerk of court to the Honorable Justice Ibrahim Jaite. Unfortunately, his lordship could not be here this evening, and he has sent me in his stead. However, he has written a speech for me to read out on his behalf. Distinguished guests, esteemed members of the media fraternity, representatives of the Gambia Press Union, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you this evening on behalf of the Honorable Justice Ibrahim Jaite, who, due to an unfortunate family engagement, could not be here with us tonight. He has asked me to extend his profound apologies for his absence and to convey his deep appreciation for this remarkable honor. Justice Jammeh wishes to express his sincere gratitude to the Gambia Press Union for selecting him for the recipient of the 2025 Press Freedom Hero Award. He regards this recognition as an extraordinary privilege, one that reflects not only an appreciation of his individual service, but more importantly, an affirmation of the values he strives to uphold: truth, justice, transparency, and respect for fundamental freedoms. Justice Jammeh also extends his heartfelt appreciation to the entire media fraternity: editors, reporters, broadcasters, photographers, camera technicians, producers, and all those whose efforts keep the nation informed and engaged. He recognizes the vital role the media plays in disseminating information, shaping public understanding, and strengthening democratic governance. To him, the media is not merely a professional institution, it is a public trust and a cornerstone of national development. He further notes that a society without a strong and independent press is a society deprived of the knowledge and accountability required for progress. The courage and resilience demonstrated by Gambian journalists, often under difficult circumstances, are, in his view, indispensable contributions to the country's democratic growth. Justice Jammeh has asked me to emphasize the special relationship between the judiciary and the media, and whilst their functions differ, their ultimate objectives often intersect. The administration of justice depends on openness, the public confidence, and the media, which serves as a vital bridge between the courts and the citizens they serve. Likewise, the judiciary plays a critical role in safeguarding the freedoms upon which responsible journalism thrives. In this mutual commitment, the rule of law and democratic values find their most reliable guardians. In accepting this award, Justice Ibrahim Jammeh reaffirms his unwavering commitment to the oath he swore to dispense justice without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. He strives each day to embody these principles, and tonight's honor strengthens his resolve to continue serving the Gambia with integrity, impartiality, and accountability. He also wishes to thank the organizers of this ceremony for their confidence in him, as well as his colleagues in the judiciary whose dedication and professionalism uphold the foundations of justice in our nation. He extends his gratitude to his family and to all who support him in his continued service to the people of the Gambia. As we celebrate this moment, the Honorable Justice Ibrahim Jammeh calls on all stakeholders, media, the judiciary, civil society, and government to remain steadfast in protecting press freedom, promoting transparency, and nurturing a society where truth and justice flourish. On behalf of the Honorable Justice Ibrahim Jammeh, I extend his deepest appreciation for this honor, for your trust, and for your continued commitment to the ideals that strengthen our nation. Thank you.
The next Press Freedom Hero Award goes to Musa Serif, the editor-in-chief of the Voice newspaper. Musa Serif's journey as a campaigner for press freedom began in 2007 when he was elected the coordinator of the network of human rights journalists in the Gambia. In his role, he organized the network's first major public awareness event on the disappearance of journalist Chief Ibrahim Amane in 2007. At a time when few dared to speak openly about the case, Serif brought together media leaders, politicians, journalists, and members of the Chief Mane's family to call for his release. Serif co-founded the Inquirer newspaper in late 1999. Despite significant challenges, including the absence of advertising revenue, the paper was published twice weekly. In 2001, after the resignation of Daily Observer editorial staff, he was contacted by Ibrahim Silla, now the Minister of Work. Silla told him that the staff who resigned from the Daily Observer would be joining his paper. The following day, Sheriff was detained by the National Intelligence Agency and ordered to halt publication without explanation. The newspaper's documents were returned to him in late 2002, and publication resumed in 2003. However, after running the headline, Gambia cannot maintain two state houses, one in Kanilai and one in Banjul, he was again summoned by the NIA and instructed to stop publishing. He complied and subsequently worked as a freelance reporter for the Gambia News and Report magazine, which was published by the late doyen of Gambian journalism, Swaibu Konate. In April 2006, Sheriff was arrested, detained, tortured, and later released without charge. In August 2008, he rebranded the Inquirer newspaper as the Voice newspaper. On January 13, 2014, Sheriff was arrested in front of his children in his office alongside freelance journalist Seni Marena and charged with false publication for reporting that 19 Green youths had defected from the ruling APRC to the opposition UDP. We were charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and publication of false news with intent to cause fear and alarm to the public, he recalled. After a 10-month trial, we were acquitted by a court in Banjul. On July 1, 2015, Sheriff and 4 senior reporters of the Voice newspaper, the news editor and newsroom coordinator, then Suleiman Sise, assistant news editor Bakari Sise, senior reporter Amadou Ba and Mafuji Sise, were summoned and interrogated by the National Intelligence Agency about the paper's operations. In late September 2024, Sheriff and his deputy, Momodu Justice Dabo, were also arrested, detained, and charged by the Gambia police with false publication and broadcasting. The Inspector General of Police later withdrew the case. President Adama Barrow also initiated a civil suit against Sheriff and the Voice, which was subsequently dropped. Sheriff has mentored many young journalists in the Gambia, including the current Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, who worked under him for 8 years as an editor, and the likes of Meta Toure, who is now a trainer at the Media Academy for Journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Musa Sheriff, GPU's 2025 Press Freedom Hero. This award will be presented by the GPU Vice President, Sheriff Sedikan.
For now, I'm lack of words because I can see all the doyen here. Good evening to everybody, from the minister, deputy speaker, my own mother. Good evening. DA, good evening. Madi, good evening. I'm very grateful to be here tonight and humble. All have been said. That is how we went through everything. Yes, so we have gone through all this, and I'm very grateful to be here tonight. And first, I would like to take this opportunity to commend the organizers and the committee that selected me, because without them, I was not going to be part of this family tonight. And I would first of all like to thank my family, who have been there all along, especially those who we struggle together, the 3 sisters, the youth, and the bar. It was not easy. It was 5 of us that were running a newspaper in this country, the Voice at that time. And we did everything to make the drive where we are today. So I'm very grateful, and thank you to everybody tonight. Thank you.
The next award is going to Alo Ahmed Alota. Many young journalists wouldn't know about this man, but hopefully today they will. The Gambia Press Union proudly recognizes, he's now a doctor, Dr. Ahmed Alota, with the 2025 Press Freedom Hero Award for outstanding dedication to promoting press freedom, freedom of expression, and media development in the Gambia. Through pioneering initiatives such as the establishment of the first ever School of Journalism in the Gambia, which is now the Media Academy for Journalism, previously called the GPU School of Journalism, Alota has strengthened the professional capacity of countless journalists in the Gambia. His leadership in organizing workshops on investigative journalism, court reporting, cybersecurity, responsible reporting on children, and gender-sensitive reporting, including the project Women's Depiction in the Mass Media, that was funded by the Canada Fund for Local Initiative, has equipped journalists with tools to report ethically, fearlessly, and accurately. Many of his proteges have gone on to occupy leadership positions in newsrooms in the Gambia and with international news media outlets, as well as contributing to journalism education within the country and beyond. A tireless advocate for freedom of expression, Alota led the project Strengthening Freedom of Expression Protections in the Gambia, in collaboration with Article 19 West Africa, which was funded by the European Union between 2011 and 2012, advancing national policies to safeguard media rights. His advocacy has, however, come at a great personal risk, having been arrested and detained multiple times. He is also a co-author of A Living Mirror, The Life of Deda Haidara, a seminal work depicting the danger of practicing journalism in Africa, using the drive-by assassination of journalist Deda Haidara in December 2004 as a case study. The book has been adopted by the Open Society Initiative for West Africa, OSIWA, as a key advocacy tool and is endorsed by Reporters Without Borders, amplifying campaigns promoting press freedom across the region. Beyond these accomplishments, Alota has served on media self-regulatory committees and juries for the National Journalism Awards, mentoring the next generation of journalists and championing higher standards of professionalism. This award celebrates his unwavering courage, dedication, commitment to a free, fair, and robust media landscape in the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Mr. Demba Ali Jao, who would be receiving this GPU 2025 Press Freedom Hero Award on behalf of Alota. This award will be presented by GPU board member Paul Stephen Pereira.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. The Minister of Information, my own nephew, Dr. Ismail Assise, the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Sidi Njai, Auntie Ami, my own sister, and of course, Tian C. From Dakar, a very good friend of mine, and all the members of the GPU, as well as everybody invited here tonight. I am definitely happy to receive this award on behalf of my friend, Dr. Aloha Ahmed Alota, who is presently in Canada. Ahmed definitely had been an advocate for press freedom, and he did quite a lot for press freedom in this country. As Secretary General Diouf said, it was a time when it was not fashionable to be a journalist in this country. A very dangerous situation it was. But Ahmed persevered, He actually did the work despite all the dangers that he faced. And he did a great work as far as GPU management was concerned. So definitely he deserves this award. And I have absolutely no doubt that the GPU didn't find it very difficult to choose him as one of the awardees. So on behalf of Ahmed and everybody else, I wish to thank the GPU and everybody who was involved in selecting him. Thank you very much.
The final award that we are giving tonight is a posthumous award for journalist Pamodu Fall. Pamodu Fall, who was known as Koto, served in various boards of the Gambia Press Union since 2008. He was a treasurer of the GPU from 2011 to 2015. In 2018, he was made the chairperson of the GPU Board Programs Committee. He was humble, soft-spoken, and overall, a wonderful human being who stood for, promoted, and defended press freedom and freedom of expression in the Gambia during the most difficult period in our history of journalism in the country. He, together with 5 other journalists, were arrested, tried, and sentenced to 2 years in prison for sedition in 2009 over a GPU statement on the killing of journalist Deda Haidara. Pamodu had over 20 years of experience working for several media outlets, including the defunct independent newspaper, the Daily Observer newspaper as well. He also worked for the Point newspaper and had served as a founder, member, and former president of the Association of Health Journalists in the Gambia, and also the African Media and Malaria Research Network, the Gambian chapter, AMREN Gambian chapter. He has also worked as an information officer with the Ministry of Health and was the founder of the consultancy firm Focus Media Consulting, which offered training and works on media and public relations and communication. In November 2020, Pamodu Fall was a motivating participant in the Media Run Challenge, pioneered by the managing director of the GPU School of Journalism, which is now the Media Academy for Journalism. This is good for health, he said of the event, adding it was important for journalists to keep fit. Fall was also an advocate for professionalism in the media and has on several occasions implored on journalists to uphold their code of conduct. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Mohamed Fall and Nafisatu Fall, son and daughter of the late Pamodu Fall, who would be receiving this 2025 Press Freedom Hero Award on behalf of their father. This award will be given by Aliou Cissé.
Good evening, everybody. We are honored to stand here today to accept this award on behalf of our beloved father. This recognition is a testament to his tireless dedication to journalism and his passion to telling stories that make a difference. Through his career, he inspired us with his curiosity, his compassion, and his unwavering commitment to truth. This award is a reminder of the impact he had on our lives and the lives of those he touched through his work. We are grateful for the time we had with him and proud of the legacy he leaves behind. We would like to thank the organization for this incredible honor, and we assure that will be thrilled to know that his work will continue to inspire others. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's please give a round of applause to our heroes, please, all the winners. Well, I'm afraid I will have to say something. We were told that give credit where it's due. One of the awardees, Madam Agnes Tomasi, during her citation, someone said she gave chance to women, encouraged them to become good journalists and serve their respective countries and communities. I'll tell you this, I am standing here because of this woman. She saw me when I was going to university. She saw the potential in me that I have not. She believed in me. She encouraged me. And today, I'm the best radio journalist in the whole of West Africa. Special thanks to her. I would like to give a special recognition to Momo Diba, the Executive Director of the National Social Protection Agency. But again, I would like to give a special recognition to Seth Tijan C. The reason being, Mr. C is a seasoned investigative journalism professional. And I'll tell you this, the best investigative medium in the Gambia is Malagan, without a doubt. And Malagan came to being after an investigative training conducted by this great man. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir. Truly, thank you. At this juncture, let me put aside, because Jammeh has someone important to introduce. But before then, ladies and gentlemen, I still have the president of the Gambia Press Union to give special recognition to certain individuals who have been very supportive to the Gambia Press Union.
Thank you very much. Sorry to pop up here again. This I would have done during my statement, but we do in terms of it's looking at the welfare of our journalists, but also individuals that have supported us, especially our members who have never waited for us to call them, but always committed to the cause of the Gambia Press Union. So I would like to invite my predecessor, Mohamed Esba. Please join me on stage to help me give these certificates to these individuals for their immense contribution to the Gambia Press Union. One of them is Yankuba Jallo. Yankuba, please join us on stage. Yankuba, most of us will know him as very critical and very controversial. But when it comes to Gambia Press Union, he never jokes with it in terms of his dues and his commitment to also ensuring that he puts us to account, holds us to account. Yankuba. I'll also like to invite Demba Kande. Demba Kande is also one of our very committed GPU members. He's not here, but I'd like to invite Aliu Badara Sow to receive the certificate on behalf of Mr. Demba Kande. Mustafa Sise of the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication. He's not around. James Mendy, please receive the certificate on behalf of Mustafa. Louis Alsan, Tina. Yusuf Taylor. Can we have one of the ushers to receive this on behalf of Yusuf Taylor? Landing, please receive the, okay, it's fine. Last but not the least is the Fatu Network. Anyone from Fatu Network? Aliu Jallo? Okay, in the absence of any, Mama A. Toure. This is to say thank you for always putting the Gambia Press Union first. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, momentarily, the Minister of Information will be called on stage to come and deliver his keynote address. But before then, please, I crave your indulgence. Just a couple of weeks ago, the entire media fraternity woke up to a devastating news with the loss of our brother, Pabaro of Afri Radio. Everyone who's crossed paths with this gentleman will speak nothing but kind words. He's a beautiful soul. We've also lost Modu Lamin Sanyang of Star FM. Please, I'll crave your indulgence to just rise up. Let's observe a minute silence for our departed brothers. Please. Thank you very much. You may take your seat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, before calling on the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, we would like to acknowledge our sponsors once again and our partners, of course, for putting up this event together. We would like to acknowledge the support from National Social Protection Agency, the People's Republic of China, the Chinese Embassy, the Gambia Football Federation, GT Board, the Gambia Revenue Authority, GRA, QCell, Mohamed Jah, AfriCell, Lasting Solutions, RNA, Creation Plus, Juris Design, and Majag. And also, just a quick one, we would like to acknowledge the efforts of the National Journalism Awards Committee for putting up, of course, we all do know, putting up such an event requires a lot of energy, efforts, and resources. And it's very difficult to put up events in the Gambia, of course, without support. So we'd like to acknowledge the efforts of the committee for putting up all of this together here at the Sadauda Karabajara Conference Center. We would also want to acknowledge the support of the panel of judges. I know it has been very tough for them, going all through the reports and all of that, making decisions at the end of the day. It was a tough job for all of them, and we want to say thank you and recognize their efforts. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I have the honor and singular privilege to invite the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Silla, Dr. Ismaila Cisse, I beg your pardon, Ibrahim Silla, Minister of Transport and Infrastructure. Of course, to the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Silla. Cisse, rather. Why Sumakala? So he is Cisse, and I am Baye and Jane. Welcome, Honorable. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not sure why you would make such a cardinal mistake calling me Silla, but I forgive you. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of certain important individuals. Not that all of us are not important. We're all important, but as George Orwell said, all humans are important, but some people are more important than others. The Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Sidi Njai, the President of the Gambia Press Union, the Clerk of the National Assembly, the former Minister of Information, Honorable Demba Ali Jao, my uncle, the Director of Press at the Office of the President, Auntie Ami Bojang Sisoho, our friend from Senegal, Mr. Tijan Si, representatives of the Embassy of China, also welcome tonight. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Director of the Department of Information Services, and all the senior government officials here present today, and everyone else, the GPU ambassadors, esteemed partners, distinguished nominees, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and privilege to stand before you this evening to deliver the keynote speech at the Gambia Press Union's 10th National Journalism Award, as we gather to honor excellence, dedication, and integrity within our media fraternity. This remarkable milestone, 10 years of celebrating journalistic excellence, marks not only the achievements of individuals, but the evolution of Gambian media itself, the strengthening of our democratic values, and the collective journey we continue to walk as a nation. So I don't have space for my paper, so I'll be struggling a bit. To promote openness, accountability, and the rule of law. This year's theme, a decade of excellence, strengthening journalism for democracy, accountability, and safety for journalists, is profoundly befitting. It captures three powerful truths. First, that excellence in journalism is not accidental. It is earned, cultivated, and sustained through professionalism, dedication, and commitment to ethical reporting. Second, that journalism is a cornerstone of any functioning democracy, holding power to account and giving citizens the information they need to participate meaningfully in national life. And third, that the safety and security of journalists is not a privilege, but a right, one that must be protected by all actors, including the state, the media industry, and society at large. Over the past decade, the Gambia Press Union has played an instrumental role in transforming the media environment through training, through advocacy, partnerships, And of course, these annual awards, the GPU has fostered a culture of excellence that we can all be proud of. Your efforts have strengthened the fabric of our democracy and empowered countless journalists to pursue the truth with courage and clarity. And as a government, we acknowledge the central role that a vibrant, independent, and responsible media plays in advancing national development. We understand that press freedom is not a favor to be granted, but a right to be protected. And we remain committed to fostering an environment where journalists can work without fear, intimidation, or undue interference. At the same time, we also champion responsible journalism. Journalism that upholds truth, fairness, and accuracy. Journalism that resists sensationalism and that places public interest above personal or political interest. It is only through this balance between freedom and responsibility and freedom and accountability that our media can achieve its highest potential. And I repeat, the balance between freedom on one hand and accountability and responsibility on the other must be preserved. No republic, no democracy, no matter where in the world, creates a system where journalists operate with freedom that has no control, that is not checked. Freedom goes with accountability. It goes with responsibility. That must be clear. And the Republic of the Gambia, under the leadership of the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, will provide the enabling environment for the media to thrive, for journalists to operate freely without fear or favor, without intimidation, but they must be held accountable for their actions that go against the law. We all remember, we don't have to go that far. The only tribe that was persecuted, jailed, exiled, forcefully disappeared, tortured, was only one tribe in this country, because they were persecuted because they belonged to a group. And these were journalists, not Mandinkas, not Wolofs, not Jolas, not Sarahules. Journalists were persecuted in this country because they belonged to a group called journalists. That is not happening anymore. You operate freely, without any interference, without no intimidation, no arrests, no enforced disappearances, no killings, no tortures. This is the dispensation we are living under. But you must operate with responsibility, and you must be held accountable for your actions. This is the republic. This is how a republic functions. Equally, we recognize that the journey toward a free and vibrant press is ongoing. Journalism is a public good, and for it to thrive, we must ensure that those who carry out this essential work do so in an environment that is safe, supportive, and conducive to professional growth. The Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services remains committed to deepening reforms, strengthening media laws, and advancing policies that expand freedom of expression, improve access to information, and protect the rights of journalists. We also recognize the challenges that persist, of course. Issues of misinformation and disinformation, digital safety threats, limited resources in newsrooms, and the rise of online harassment, particularly gender-based digital violence against women journalists. These challenges are not unique to the Gambia alone. They are part of a global shift in the information ecosystem. But they demand local solutions grounded in collaboration, capacity building, and mutual respect. This is why a multi-stakeholder engagement remains essential. Government, civil society, academia, media houses, Regulatory institutions and development partners must work hand in hand to build a resilient media landscape, one that can navigate the complexities of the digital age while upholding timeless principles of accuracy, fairness, and integrity. I wish to reaffirm the Gambia government's commitment to, number one, supporting ongoing law reforms that promote media freedom and responsibility. Number two, strengthening institutional collaboration, including Gambia Press Union, the Media Council, the Information Commission, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, and partners across other sectors. Number three, enhancing access to information, recognizing it as a foundation of transparency and accountability. Number four, promoting digital literacy and safety to protect journalists operating both offline and online. And number five, ensuring that the safety of journalists remains a national priority in line with global standards and regional commitments. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate a decade of excellence, we also acknowledge the tireless commitment of the GPU in championing press freedom, promoting ethical journalism, and amplifying the voice of the voiceless. The union's work continues to inspire greater professionalism within the sector and reinforces the essential role of the media in safeguarding transparency, accountability, and the public interest. And tonight, again, as we honor the very best of Gambian journalism, let us also renew our shared vision for the future, a future where journalists are empowered and protected, a future where professionalism triumphs over sensationalism, a future where facts prevail over falsehood, and a future where media continues to serve as a catalyst for development, peace, and democratic consolidation. To all the nominees and award recipients, let me express my heartfelt congratulations. Your stories, investigations, your photographs, and broadcasts have illuminated our nation's triumphs, exposed injustices, and amplified unheard voices. You remind us that journalism is not just a career, it is a public service, a responsibility, and often a sacrifice. May this 10th anniversary serve as a renewed call to uphold the highest standards of profession and to keep pushing the boundaries of excellence. And may the next decade bring even greater achievements as we collectively strengthen journalism for democracy, accountability, and the safety of all who do this noble job. To conclude, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate with award winners tonight, let us recommit ourselves to the values that make journalism indispensable: truth, courage, and service to the public. The stories we tell shape the nation we build, and the headlines we write, and the questions we ask move the Gambia closer to justice, accountability, and hope. I thank you, and I wish you all a memorable and inspiring evening.
Thank you again, the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismail Assise. A round of applause for him, please. You're reminded that this is the 10th year edition of the Gambia Press Union Journalism Awards 2025 on the theme, A Decade of Excellence, Strengthening Journalism for Democracy, Accountability, and the Safety of Journalists. And I am your host, or co-host, Fatou Janibai, and Mr.
Sankule Jibril Janko.
What do we have next?
Of course, pretty soon we'll have some entertainment. We've been listening to speakers, open speakers. So it's about time we lighten up a bit. But before that, I'd like to once again recognize the presence of Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. The simple reason being, he has been here for the past 3 years. Each year, he will come and attend our awards. And he's been very supportive. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I'd also like to thank and recognize, rather, the presence of the President of the Gambia Football Federation, General Lamin Kababajo. GFF rather, has also been very supportive for the past couple of years. They've been, sponsoring this sports category. Sir, you're welcome. Thank you. And up next, Fatumbai, we have an artist waiting for us. Who is this particular artist, please?
We have Mariam and Barham.
Mariam and Barham Cham, please welcome on stage. Ladies and gentlemen,
put your hands together.
Barham Cham and Mariam Cham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Salam alaikum, salam, Salam alaikum, yen wa Banjul, ñu ngi leen di nuyu, ñu leen di nuyu, nuyu ci seen tur ak ci seen santa, di laaj seen jàmmi yaram, seen jàmmi yaram, am na loo xam ne mu ngi ci dëkk bi. Pulen ko setane, jabba domi jambur tede fuladara lifiwai def rexa bopa so good devan veke so good devan veke ñun xale jam kundayi santanel yàlla santanel yàlla yal nañu yàlla yóbbu ci kanam amin ya rabbi amin ya rabbi yal nañu yàlla yóbbu ci kanam amin ya rabbi Mawdo Salam alaikum, salam alaikum. Maa ngi leen di nuyu ku ne sa tur ak sa sant yee di leen laajte jàmm ngeen am jàmm ngeen fanaane yal na jàmm yàgg yal na jàmm yàgg Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Nuyo jamala, nuyo jamala, yeah, nuyo jamala. Usman. Salam alaikum, everybody. Ñu leen di nuyu, ñu leen di nuyu, yeah. Nuyu ci seen tur ak ci seen sant, di la seen jàmmi yaram. Am na loo xam ne mu ngi ci dëkk bi, bu leen ko seetaan. Jappadomi jambul di ko liggéey te deful la dara li fi waay def rek sa boppa sagu ne fan fekke ñu xale jam kunda yi santanel yàlla santanel yàlla yal nañu yàlla yóbbu ci kanam amin ya rabbi Ablaye yow Mawdo waaye kon nag viva GPU waage viva Mariama Cha Sora.
Viva Madosiso.
Viva Canute.
Maestro.
Viva di Gambia.
Viva.
Nuyo Jisen Tura Jisen Santa Dila Sen Jamiara.
Nuyu Jisen Turak Jisen Santa Tilai Sen Jamia.
Thank you.
Greetings to each and everyone. It's a pleasure for us to be here, by the way. It's Barhama and Mariama, siblings. Most of the people know us. This kind of gathering, I believe our music is the best suit for this because we understand how the corporate works. And it's a pleasure for us to be entertaining you guys. It means a lot to us because when the journalists are gathered together and then a musician like us invited to do the entertainment, it's something really beautiful. So that was the song, Salam Alaikum. Then from Salam Alaikum, do you guys want us to add another one or to get down? If you guys want more, I want to see you more. Aha. Guitar number 1. This is a song that every one of us know, by the way, okay?
Maro Tiambe Tileva. Maro Tiambe Tile. Maro Tiambe Tileva.
Maho Jambedile. Maro Bana. Jambedile.
Tiambe Tile. Maro Maro.
Maro Jambedile. Maro yo Jambedile. Maro Bana Jambedile.
Falamba Temba Porta.
Temba Porta.
Falamba Temba Porta. Temba Man Pori Fafalaki. Fafalaki Sansandala. Kesobanta Munkobanta. Kabuyen Chota Borla Kerala.
Banta Falamba Temba man Bari Fafalaki Sansandala Geso Banta Menko Banta Babuyan Chota Bulila.
Thanks so much. Yes. I realize that dinner is served, so bon appetit to each and everyone.
Bolondalama Sane Sise Bolondalama Sane Sise Manyo Bekumbola Kema Vedare Bintang bolondala masane sise Bintang bolondala masane sise Manyo bekumbola kema velare Darajote jombala sayalamu Chinyate jombala sayala ume Barakote jombala sayala ume Tida Bolondala masane sise Bintang bolondala masane sise Manyo bekumbola kema velare Sira Fasane Manduniada Bima Duniada Bifalante dunia Banaye Halinga Sumu dunia la Sumu telakira Na 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 Masane Masane Size 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 Gana Mandimori Shaningana Mandimori Ture 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 Gana Mandimori Bintang bolondala masane sise Bintang bolondala masane sise Manyo bekumbola ke mabelari Bintang besirin Bintang Binta besirene masanela La nivatila masanela Andamane 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 Maria Matanke
Yes. Yes. Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yes. So now, we want to play last song. Then we can give chance to other people, other activities, right?
Salam alaikum everybody. Salam alaikum yen wa borbi. Salam alaikum GPU. Salam alaikum ye. Salam alaikum ye. Salam alaikum ye. Salam alaikum. We go.
Hallelujah, Fuli, Vele Manyoza, Supanomo, Helewa Mutati, Benigazi, Jamano Makor, Heunyanawa, Heuchongile, Mahatitelo, Fusekuse, Fusenfade, Nahatitala Zanje, Feles, Hunyanawa, let's go, Vele.
Halle
bokit benaba.
Haley Gambia.
Helen andando.
Boka benakol.
Bokit benaba.
Haley Gambia.
Helen andando.
Boka benakol.
You bokit benaba.
Tumba benakol ne.
Suyuma ya.
Hajalelen.
Fe wale nyu.
Banyi di la kalini.
Ni angale.
Ni Portuguese.
Ni Italian.
Nelen andando.
Teluchasa. Dida nandande ve. Gamtiendo.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dide
Benyi di la ka.
Dilaka laka.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka français.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka angale.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka portugais.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka espagnol.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka français.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka laka.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka angale.
Dide benyi di la ka.
Dilaka laka français. Dide benyi dilaka.
Konute. Salam alaikum sumagai.
Walaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum everybody.
Walaikum assalam.
Degumalen, degumalen.
Walaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum everybody.
Walaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum wanyagai.
Walaikum assalam.
Khana chobiata dolendewa.
Walaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum everybody.
Walaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum everybody. Hey, salam alaikum, yeah. Salam alaikum, yeah. Salam alaikum, yeah. Salam alaikum, yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure entertaining you guys. Jërëngeen jëf.
Let's give them a round of applause once more if you like the performance. Barhama Cham and Mariama Cham. Ladies and gentlemen, while you're enjoying your delicious meal, this John Show, I would like to introduce our Chief George. And you may begin to wonder, who is this person? Over the years, last year, Journalism Awards, he was the Chief George, but people begin to ask, after he's delivering his speech, who is this guy? Well, I will tell you a little bit about him today. Our Chief George is no other than Famara Fofana, fondly called Sultan. Well, Famara Fofana is a beacon of journalism and communications in the Gambia. One name, Famara Fofana, stands out like a dazzling thread woven through time in the colorful tapestry of Gambian journalism, a master storyteller and communications of it our soul. Famara has spent over a decade crafting narratives that not only inform but also inspire. His journey began at Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS, where he first dipped his toes into the vast ocean of media. With an insatiable curiosity and a heart full of purpose, he later took on the role of communication specialist at the Child Phone International, the Gambia, transforming complex ideas into relatable stories that resonate deeply within communities. But it was in 2023 that Famara truly shone as the Chief George of the National Journalism Awards organized by the Gambia Press Union, a role that positioned him as a guardian of journalistic integrity and excellence. His discerning eye and unwavering commitment to truth have made him a beacon for aspiring journalists across the nation. Armed with a BA in journalism and digital media from the University of the Gambia and an MA in media and communication studies from Ankara University, Turkey, Famara is more than just educated. He's a scholar of the craft. He has immersed himself in the specialized training from media and conflict reporting to documentary writing and social media strategies, each experience adding depth to his already rich narrative palette. As a brief lecturer at the University of the Gambia School of Journalism, he ignited sparks of creativity in young minds, encouraging them to find their unique voices in the world of storytelling. And let's not forget his literary contributions as the author of 2 compelling books. Famara has penned words that dance off the page, serving as both inspiration and guidance for budding writers. Today, as a senior corporate affairs manager at Social Security and Housing and Finance Corporation, Famara continues to weave intricate tales that bridges gaps and foster understanding. His life's work embodies the belief that every story matters. And through his pen, he champions the power of communication to change lives. Famara Fofana isn't just a journalist. He's a visionary architect of narratives, building bridges between people and ideas, illuminating paths toward a brighter future. In a world hungry for connection, his voice resonates louder than ever, reminding us all of the magic found in the art of storytelling. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to welcome Famara Fofana, the Chief Judge for this year's National Journalism Award. Please welcome on stage.
Thank you very much, Sankule, for those beautiful words. Good evening, the Honorable Minister for Information, Dr. Ismail Sise, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Sidi Njai, members of the diplomatic community, distinguished media chiefs, our nominees here, they are all looking very smart. I know you are looking to see what will be the outcome of this, but I can assure you, you all are winners in every respect, the very moment you earn your spot on the nominee board. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd year running, I have been privileged and deeply honored to stand before you and deliver the judge's report. This represents the views and insights of my humble self, Famara Fofana, and 4 other journalism and highly experienced media professionals, the peerless Sheriff Bojang Jr. of the Africa Report, the critical-minded Abigail Labi of the Media Foundation for West Africa, seasoned editor and digital media specialist Hatab Fadera, and celebrated broadcaster Fatoumata Sise, formerly of GRTS. I definitely would like to crave your indulgence to pay attention to this particular report. This is where we explain what the process entails, so that at the end of the day, everyone goes home with a clear mind about the impartiality of this process. Under my chairmanship, we were tasked to preside over an independent and unbiased process of reviewing and adjudging entries for all the categories, of the 2025 National Journalism Awards. And I am pleased to unequivocally underline that we have executed this task to the best of our ability with the utmost level of impartiality, diligence, and sound judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, each of us individually had to go through some 200 submissions spread across 17 categories. These are human rights reporting, legal affairs reporting, political reporting, women's reporting category, children, environmental reporting, investigative reporting, security, photojournalism, tax reporting, tourism, arts, entertainment, medical and health, and agriculture. Now, if you are wondering what yardsticks were used to evaluate the stories, let me say that the merit of every single story, or the lack thereof, was prosecuted against the following factors. One is the newsworthiness of the stories. The first thing we ask ourselves is the story even worthy of being told and shared with the public? We also look at the accuracy and factuality of the stories that are submitted. Are the sources credible? Are the facts supported by evidence or multiple sources? What context is the story presented? Are the codes properly attributed or even accurate? Are the numbers and data believable and properly interpreted? Is the story devoid of bias or spin, among other things? As a jury, stories that are high on speculations but light on facts are a no-no for us. The third one we look at is the style, the grammar, and the presentation techniques that are employed by the reporters. We also looked at the originality and the creativity that is employed by the reporter. The fifth aspect of the evaluation we look at is the public benefit and impact. This is particularly significant because in our craft, public interest is the raison d'etre of news organizations. In simplistic terms, awareness raising, we try to establish the extent to which a story galvanizes national conversation around the subject at hand, whether it exposes wrongdoing or brings to light the transparency and accountability question, or how it might have contributed to policy or structural change. Overall, there are a good number of entries received, which attest to the reputable nature of the awards among the journalism community in the Gambia. The entries were a mix of both strong stories, making the competition very keen, and also a significant number of not so good entries. There was accountability journalism, advocacy journalism, and solutions journalism, the type of stories highlighting the myriad of issues in the Gambia. The stories shortlisted for this year's awards. The stories that are shortlisted for this year's awards were those very compelling, treated in depth, enterprising in nature, and containing verifiable sources, clear and well-structured reports. The reporters behind these stories made significant efforts to include multimedia elements such as location maps, data visualization, multiplicity of voices or perspectives, pictorial documentations, and clear and punchy descriptive language that enrich the story better. In the cases of video or TV entries, there were good drone shots and good actuality sounds, good visuals and evidence of field reporting. At this juncture, I cannot talk about the nominated stories without waxing lyrical about the outstanding performance of our young and dynamic female reporters. Aside from the sports and tax reporting categories, every other category has at least one young woman shortlisted. This is not only to say that only those nominated did well. If not for very small margins, any other reporter could have earned a spot on the list of nominees. In terms of the diversity of the stories that are shortlisted for tonight's awards, 10 come from television, whilst online publications account for 36. This is indeed not surprising at all, given the exponential growth in internet-based articles, which also serve as a leading source of the news diet for a lot of people. 2 audio stories were also received for our evaluation, even if they didn't make the grade in the end. That is something we'd love to see in the future. So what are the downsides? What are the areas that could have been improved upon? A good number of the stories were straight news articles with very little creativity and depth. Some suffered editorial gaffes like typos, and some unlabeled photo inserts. No graphics or images even in some of the stories. Some of the URLs could not open, and the PDF versions did not fully display the stories, making it difficult to assess other features of the story. Quantitative analysis of the data would have been helpful and would have enriched the story. Some journalists submitted more than one entry to more than one category. That should be subsequently addressed by the GPU for fairness purposes. Quite a number of stories were also published in collaboration with foreign journalists and on international media platforms. While this is acceptable and whilst it also gives international visibility to the issues, it definitely skews the competition in favor of such international platforms that usually provide better editorial support to journalists. The credibility of the awards depend on fairness and clarity. For this reason, we strongly believe that only stories produced and fully edited within Gambian newsrooms should be eligible for the competition. Articles written for international media are shaped by editors who work with deeper experience, strong institutional support, and far greater resources than those available locally. Allowing such works to compete directly with news reports produced under the constraints of Gambian newsrooms creates an unequal contest and risks overshadowing the very journalists the awards are designed to recognize here. This is for the GPU to decide. This is just our candid observation. The awards should celebrate excellence that emerge from within the Gambian's own editorial ecosystem, not work elevated by international infrastructures. But the question that some people also ask, should there be anything called Gambian journalism? Should we qualify everything generally as quality journalism? Because journalism, they say, knows no borders, just like any work of art, including music. There was an uncategorized category. This we thought should be scrapped subsequently. It really doesn't add anything to the awards. If the journalists cannot determine the focus area of their story, I don't think it should be the jury's duty to do so. Of the 7 categories for which submissions were made, only photojournalism failed to make the cut, with no single nominee at all for the 3rd year in a row. Like the 2 previous years, there appears to be a lack of clear understanding as to what exactly this category entails. Then again, the onus therefore falls on the GPU to come up with a clearly defined guideline to help our very hardworking brothers and sisters in this industry to do what truly ought to be done under this category. With our media schools offering photography programs these days, there's no reason why we cannot use our camera lenses to tell powerful stories and showcase impactful visuals around issues that matter to us as a people. I'm sure we've all heard about Kevin Carter's The Vulture and the Little Girl, 1994. That haunting image of a Sudanese child struggling to survive during the famine. It would be a tall order for our peers on the home front to submit works of that repute today, but at a time when a young female photographer etched her name in the sandy banks of continental Africa, there's no doubting that the mammoth potential of Gambian photojournalists. Another issue that made the process very cumbersome and time-consuming is the uploading of full news bulletins by certain journalists. This has forced us to rewind or forward video files just to situate where exactly a particular story begins and ends. On to another important matter, that is the question of artificial intelligence. Journalists, like every other country or every sector, should be free to use AI for background research, idea development, or organizational support, and also archive or transcription tool, just like any other search engine. But using AI to write entire stories for us crosses an ethical boundary. It misrepresents authorship, underlines the craft of reporting, and erodes trust in the GPU awards. We came across a lot of these stories that were written with the help of AI. A journalist's strength lies in their ability to investigate, verify, and tell stories with insight and accountability. Delegating that core work to a machine is not innovation, but a form of cheating. Other than that, we haven't flagged any other major flouting of ethics that underpin journalistic storytelling in this year's awards. To the credit of the reporters, stories revolving around minors, victims of right violations, the courts, etc., largely conform to the required ethical signposts bordering on the usage of names, images, and the minimization of harm. We applaud Gambian news organizations for playing by the rule books at a time when journalism practice is increasingly finding itself under the magnifying glass due to the tangled web of challenges posed by technological innovations. In this era of deepfakes, the stakes are very high. The field has changed for good. To conclude, I would like to thank the people sitting high on the GPU food chain for the trust and confidence bestowed upon us to carry out this important exercise. Personally, this will be my last dance on this stage in this capacity. The time has come for new perspectives on fresh energy and new ideas to take the awards to the next level. To the reporters, I will encourage you to always strive for excellence, never settle for less. Remember, there's no shortcut to lasting success. Not being nominated, ladies and gentlemen, in this year's awards should never deter anyone from smashing it some other year. To the winners who will emerge here tonight, never sit on your laurels. Complacency, they say, is a slow-moving tide that quietly erodes the shoreline of progress. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our Chief George, please. Well, the moment we've all been waiting for is here. Tonight is the night.
Thank you.
It is that time of the night when we get to know who is going home with what. But before then, everybody is a winner. All the nominees are winners. In fact, every journalist in this country is a winner. Regardless of being nominated, regardless of being a recipient, we are all winners. So long as you're serving the interests of the public, you are a winner. Fajane, seems like we are getting closer.
Thank you, yes. Like the Mandinkas will say, Liro Futato Tongotole.
Indeed.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. And mashallah, like I said, congratulations to all the nominees. Like Sankule has rightly put it, it doesn't matter whether you go home with an award or not, you're basically a winner. And we are saying congratulations once again. We're honored to be here with you to share your journey. We know it has been a long one, of course, with challenges here and there, but at least you never gave up. And also, as always, putting the interest of the public first, informing, educating, and entertaining Gambians at the end of the day. So we basically want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you once again. And of course, we'll go through the various and respective categories of the reporting exam that we have for this year.
Indeed.
The National Journalism Awards 2025.
Yes, indeed, Fajane. We are all set now. And the first awards to be mentioned this evening is the tax category. The tax category award. Technician, please introduce this award before we give you who the nominees are and what they've worked on that earned them this nomination.
penalties. His reporting revealed how nearly 36,000 tons of Russian diesel were shipped to Banjul, stored at Gambia Petroleum, and sold into the local market, bypassing traditional importers and exposing major regular failures. This story meticulously examines illicit trade, governance loopholes, and the Gambia's vulnerability to international sanctions.
Right, that is the Tax Reporting Award. Fajane, we have a lot of awards to give tonight. But I would like to say, under this category, we have very interesting names and, of course, renowned journalists who are doing tremendous work. And the names go by this. First, you have Mustafa K. Dabo of the Republic. Mustafa K. Dabo of the Republic. Well, his story is titled Russian Sanctions Busters Find Gambian Heaven. Russian oil scandal tax reporting category. Well, a U.S. sanctioned Russian illegally reported $29 million worth of diesel in the Gambia, sold it and sent the money to the UAE without paying tax or any fines. Well, Muscovite Yulia Alexandronova, Sagiva 46, who is behind the super tanker loaded with the diesel through United Arab Emirates, registered company to Banjul in April 2023, has been previously sanctioned by the United States for aiding the Russian economy in war with Ukraine and transferring Russian money and assets to the UAE. Nearly 36,000 tons of diesel were loaded at the Russian Black Sea port of Novorossiysk on 2 April 2023 and transferred at sea to Greek-owned tanker MT Perilous, which then sailed on to Banjul. Once the storage tanks of the state oil distributor Gambia Petroleum GP Sovereign's company in Apoji, FZC was able to sell other heads of the usual importers and contributors into the local market to the dismay. The local OMCs complained to GP, which had given over 80% of its capacity to Apoji, but to no effect. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is our singular honor to welcome, Fajana, who are we having to? We have GRA and CG Babukar Njai to come on stage to please hand over this award to Mustafa K. Dabo because he is the only nominee.
Babu Kanjai, a senior taxpayer education officer at the Gambia Revenue Authority, and we say congratulations to Mustafa K. Dabo as the tax reporting category, as a winner of the tax reporting category for the 2025 National Journalism Awards. Next, we have the agriculture reporting category. So Sankule. And we'll get the nominees.
Fatu Dahaba, the Alcamba Times.
Excuse me, the next category is health. We have the health category. That's the next category. For the next category, please. Let's have the nominees for the health category, please.
The Point newspaper. Tadpole, living with HIV in the Gambia, stories of survival, state, and strength. Khadijao Al Jazeera, story title, I Nearly Died, Taba, the tobacco drug Gambian women share in secret. Mamadou S. Jallo, Gambia Radio and Television Services. Story title, Gambian roads turning into death traps aimed frequent traffic accidents.
Well, those were your nominees, or those are your nominees there. And of course, to hand over and announce the winner of this category, I'm humbly honored to call on a member of the Chinese Embassy on stage. Please welcome on stage, sir.
A round of applause, please.
I have the honor to report the Health and Medical Reporting Award goes to Mamadou Jallo. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to Mamadou S. Jallo. Mamadou S. Jallo, want to say some few words? Some few words? Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good evening. Well, I am humbled and happy to win this award. I know a lot of people will say, why health? Because this ugly face here has been unanimous to sports, if I should say that. But as journalists, we endeavor to go out of our comfort zone and report the stories. And I felt, like Famara said, we need to tell stories that are impactful, that are of essence to our society. And I was very much keen to tell the story of the mounting number of road accidents in our country. This is one of the most important and concerning issue that is happening in the Gambia. On a daily basis or on a weekly basis, you hear reports of road accidents in our country, fatalities that could have been avoided. So I decided to go out of my comfort zone of sports and report about the mounting cases of road fatalities or road traffic accidents in the Gambia. So that's what won me this award. And I dedicate this award to all road traffic accident victims in the Gambia. Let's amplify the voice, because these road traffic accidents could be avoided. All of them are avoidable. So let's endeavor to amplify the message and try to make sure that we reduce or minimize road traffic accidents in the Gambia. The life you save may be your own life. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Momodu S. Jallo there, of course, the winner of the Health and Medical Reporting category for the 2025 National Journalism Award. Congratulations. And next we have the Political Reporting category, and the nominees are, we have Maimunaba.
Political Reporting category nominees: Maimunaba, TRT. Story title: Thousands Protest in Gambia Over Corruption Scandal. Mamjara Kamara, QTV. Story title: The Evolution of Gambia's Constitution. Yankuba Jallo, Fourier. Story title: Where Religion Once Served as a Repressive Regime.
Those are your nominees, and we have the pleasure of inviting Nene Cherasin Seka to help us present the award. All right, I have reliably been informed that Nene has left. Unfortunately, do we have next? Who do we have to?
Right, we will keep that award, or we'll hand it over later, because at the moment we don't seem to have a representative for her, and she has already left. Let's quickly shift to the next category, and this is Children Reporting category. Nominees for Children Reporting category, please.
Nominees: Aissatou Cisse, The Point newspaper. Title: Broken Dreams, the Price of Childhood on Gambia Streets. Mamjara Kamara, QTV. Story title: Hard of Hearing Unit of SL Lower Basic in North Bank. Mustafa K. Dabo, The Republic. Story title: Fake Crimes, Stage Rescues. Story of a con artist who lavishes himself with money raised in the name of Gambian children.
Well, those were your nominees, and we are glad to say I'm humbly trying to call on National Social Protection Agency Executive Director, who is no other than Modu Diba. Please welcome on stage. And it's important to know that this category was funded by the National Social Protection Agency, our main sponsor. Please welcome on stage, sir. Do the honors and tell us who is the children reporting over there.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure once again to be associated with this award. On behalf of the National Social Protection Agency, I have the honor to announce the winner of the Children's Reporting Award. As I said before, I have the honor to announce the winner of the Children's Reporting Award, and the winner is Mustafa Kedabo.
Congratulations to Mustafa K. Dabor as the winner of the children's reporting category.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations to Mustafa K. Dabor. That was the children's reporting category. And now we shift attention to the environment category. Environment, the nominees are
Environment Reporting Category, Kadi Jao. Story title, Climate Change Could Submerge the Gambia's Capital. Mariama Dem, Star TV. Story title, Illegal logging and charcoal production threatens Gambia's biodiversity. Talibe Haidara and Mariama Sangano, The Republic. Story title, The Opaque Mining Deal, Gambling with Gambia's Future.
Thank you, and we now call on Dr. Sanyang from the Waka Project to help us present this award. Dr. Sanyang has just left. Okay, all right, we'll now call on the Clerk of the National Assembly to help us present this award. A round of applause, please.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to report the winners of the category on Environment Reporting Award 2025. And the winner for this award is Talibe Haidara and Mariam Sankano. Congratulations.
Our Makalo there receiving the award on behalf of the recipient, the winner.
Well, next on the category announcement is agriculture. And we are honored to call Musukuta Koma of Child Phone. Well, they've not been our sponsors, but they've been very, very supportive over the years. And we are so happy to have her here. Please, ma'am, welcome on stage to do us the honor and hand this award. It's a funny story because usually you're seeing everyone else carrying a frame to announce the name, but unfortunately this time around, for some reason, Teres and the team, they were so hungry that they forgot the frame in the hotel. So please forgive them for that. But the crystal is here. Please, ma'am, do us the honor and tell us the winner.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege and honor to participate in this year's awards night. And the Agriculture Reporting Award goes to Talib Haidar of the Republic. And the title is How Sheriff's Division Violated Court Order in selling Jammeh's cattle. Congratulations to Mr. Talib Haidara. Thank you.
You can hand over the crystal. You hand over that crystal. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. Musukuta Koma is a country ripe for child fund. And like I said, they've been very, very supportive. And we hope that next year they'll join on board again. Please tell us the next category.
Thank you very much. And the next category is the human rights reporting category. And the nominees are?
Human Rights Reporting Category. Nominees: Halimatu Cisse, She-Tail Media Network. Title: I Am Gambana, Not a Slave. Janke Toure, Gambia Radio and Television Services. Story title: The Struggle for Drinkable Water in Tuba Whopper. Mariama Sankano, The Republic. Story title: U.S. Trial of Gambian Death Squad probes torture, but victim's family demands murder accountability.
And those are the nominees for this particular category. And I have the singular honor to invite Mr. Sekou Gassama, the Executive Secretary from the National Human Rights Commission, to do us the honors and present this award to the winner.
Thank you. We at the National Human Rights Commission are pleased to be associated with this, with the Gambia Press Union Awards. And we are happy to have supported, to support this particular prize, human rights reporting, for the past 3 years. And we look forward to continuous and progressive partnership with the GPU. And I have the honor to announce the winner of this year's Human Rights Reporting Award, Halimatu Cisse.
Do we have Halimatu in the house? Do we have Halimatu here? She's not here, unfortunately. We'll have a representative receive this award on behalf of Halimatu Cisse, please. Thank you very much, Lolly. Thank you very much, Mr. Gassama, Executive Secretary from the National Human Rights Commission. And like he mentioned, they've been supporting this particular category for 3 consecutive years. And we say a very big thank you to them and for also supporting the work of the Gambia Press Union. Next category, please.
Before the next category, my instinct tells me...
Legal Affairs Reporting Category.
My instinct tells me that Human Rights Commission will support next year too, inshallah. Please. And from the human rights category, let's move on to legal affairs and legal reporting. The nominees are...
Mariama Sankano, The Republic. Story title: The Order to Shoot and Kill Solo Sandeng. Yankuba Jallo, Fourier Newspaper. Story title: Undoing Jammeh's Legacy, Gambia's Dormant Reform Engine.
Of course, and it's my singular honor and privilege to call on stage Mr. Sadibu Kamaso, who has been very supportive to the National Journalism Awards, so kindly come and hand over this award and tell us, first of all, announce and hand over the winner.
Thank you, Mr. MC. We're also very pleased to be associated with the GPU Awards, and hopefully we'll support again next year, inshallah. You can always count on us. The award for the legal affairs reporting category goes to Aisha Tamba.
A round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Mr. Sadi Bukamuso.
Have you heard what he said?
You.
He
Yes.
assured that next year
They will come.
we pray and hope everyone else who comes on stage
They'll come again.
will make the same assurance.
Inshallah. A round of applause. And the next category is migration and human trafficking. And the nominees are
Migration and Human Trafficking Reporting category. Nominees: Asanba, Fourier newspaper. Story title: Saudi labor deal leave Gambian migrants in despair. Khadijao, Al Jazeera. Story title: I will die trying. Gambian migrant deportees dream of return to Europe. Mustafa Kedabo, The Republic. Story title: Reintegration or Return to Despair. IOM in the Gambia fails pathway returnees.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, those are your nominees for the Migration and Human Trafficking Reporting category. And I have the singular honor to invite Brigadier General Yahya Jammeh, Commander Republican National Guards, to present us this award. A round of applause, please.
Good evening to you all. I have the singular honor to announce the winner in this category, Migration Human Trafficking Reporting Award. And the winner of this award, who guess? Who could be the one? I believe so is Mustafa Kedabo.
Congratulations once again. Congratulations, Mustafa. You want to say some few words?
Well, I'm not a good speaker, so. Thank you. I'm not a good politician, so I don't really know what to say, but it's always been a pleasure being here at the Gambia Press Union Awards. The only thing I have noticed, and I was looking at it all along, was my friend at the corner, Sekou, when he started the awards, we thought it was not possible. And when I came, I had a small picture of him at the corner. I thought it should be in the middle. It's a long way coming, you know. I mean, for some of us who were here in the first days, those days, even press conferences, you're wondering who is a journalist and who is an NIA agent. And at the awards, even back at Jammeh, we had those concerns too. Yeah. And I remember I had a conversation with Sekou about it when he said he was going to start a journalism awards. And I said, well, I hope you thought about this very well, because it doesn't look like it's possible. He said, no, we will do it. He's an optimistic type, and he did it. And some of the folks came from back then state institutions, state broadcaster and other places, and they came, and yeah, the rest is history. 10 years, we are still here, and we are still alive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mustafa Keita, the winner of the Migration and Human Trafficking reporting category. I want to say thank you very much to, of course, Brigadier General Yahya Jammeh, Commander, Republican National Guards, for doing us the honors. Thank you very much. And Sankule, it's very important at this juncture to also recognize and acknowledge the efforts of the veterans, the people that have been there, people that paved the way. We know it has been a long journey. Of course, it caused sleepless nights for some people, for merely doing their job. And I think it's really important that we acknowledge that people that have paved the way. And here we are today, 10 years down the line, celebrating journalism in this country, and also as well solidifying on the gains that has been achieved so far in terms of press freedom in this country.
Indeed, they've paved the way for us, and I'm very young, to talk about some of these people, but I do know that you have, Boda and Sisoho. She's one of them. You have, of course, Demba Jao. You have a lot of them here. I can't name all of them. You have Agnes Tomasi. They are here, plenty of them. They've paved the way for us. But I like what Mustafa said. He said something about the awards, and that involves that gentleman in the picture. He's one of the Gambia's greatest journalists. Let's give him a round of applause. Sekou Jammeh is a genius. He is indeed a star. Ladies and gentlemen, the next category for tonight awards is business reporting. And the nominees are
Business and Finance Reporting category nominees: Khadijao, Mustafa Keita, and Mohamed Diop. The Republic. Story title: How exporting fish meals starves countries of global profits despite adamant risk to environment. Taliban Hyderabad. Fraud, nepotism, and failed contracts sink state-owned printer business. Authors: Joseph, Usman Sedikan, and Taliban. Yankuba Jallo, Fourier newspaper. Story title: USAID cuts threaten Gambia's transitional justice.
Ladies and gentlemen, your nominees for business reporting, and I am honored to call on stage Mr. Ade Drame, the editor-in-chief of QTV. Please welcome on stage, sir. All right, this category is special because it goes with gifts, sport.
You want to share some few words? Or?
Good afternoon. Oh my God, good evening. I am sleepy. So this story was done by my colleague Mustafa and Mohamed Diouf. So it was a cross-border investigation on the impact of fish meals on lives and livelihood in the Gambia, Senegal, and Mauritania as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yahya Jammeh. Well, I would assure you, sir, the award will be handed out to the deserved winner. It's just that we are following, we're just following protocol because we don't want to confuse, because the person who was supposed to hand over is not around, but surely we will hand it over without that before we take a leave of you. Please, next category.
Thank you very much, Sankule. And of course, we will head straight to the Security Affairs reporting category. And the nominees are
Maimunaba, TRT World. Title: Border Conflicts Shut Schools in Gambia. Mamadou Jallo, Gambia Radio and Television Services. Title: Gambian Forces Military Capabilities. Yankuba Jallo, Foreign Newspaper. Story title: General's Final Days. Inquest reveals lapses in care before death of Bora Koli in military custody.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are your nominees, and I have the singular honor to invite the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable C.D. Eskinjai, to do us the honors and present the award. A round of applause, please.
Good evening. I have the honor to announce Maimuna Bah as the winner of the Security Reporting Award.
Thank you very much. Maimuna Bah is the winner for the Security Affairs Reporting category. Congratulations to Maimuna. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, Honorable C.D. Eskinjai. Thank you so much for helping us present that award. Sankule.
Indeed, thank you, Deputy Speaker. Next on the category is Investigative Reporting Awards, and the nominees are
Investigative Reporting category. Nominees: Khadijao Malagan. Title: Tanjebad Reserve carved up inside deal to turn protected land into profits. Kumbali, The Gambia Daily. Title: The Silent Epidemic, Gambia's battle against antimicrobial resistant. Mustafa K. Dabo, The Republic. Jammeh's assets go for a song.
Okay. I have no right to announce the winner. It's all right. It looks like people already know who the winner is, but who am I to say that? Please, I'm not saying it. It's no-brainer. I mean, it's a no-brainer that the only person we could call on stage to come and hand over or announce this award is no other than the person who, one way or the other, is responsible for where investigative journalism is today in the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my singular honor to welcome Mr. Seh Tijan Si on stage, an investigative professional.
Good evening, everyone, and I have the honor and the privilege to announce the winner of this category, and it is Mustafa K. Dabo.
Congratulations to Mustafa once again. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And congratulations to Mustafa. Congratulations once again to Mustafa K. Dabo. And the next reporting category is sports. Reporting category, sports rather. And the nominees are?
Sports reporting category nominees: Adama Makasuba, Gambiana. Story title: Adama Jaju, the Gambian trailblazer, redefining women's role in a male-dominated sports. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV. Artwork: The Story of BK West United. Momodo S. Jalo, Gambia Radio and Television Services. Story title: Trailblazing Gambian Marathon Champion, Sambaba.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are your nominees. And of course, I have the honor to invite the Chief Executive Officer of the Gambia Football Federation, Mr. Lamin Jassi, to help us present this award.
So, good evening. I have the honor and privilege to announce the winner of the Sport Reporting Award. And this year's winner goes to Mr. Momodu Gajaga.
Congratulations, thank you very much.
Congrats, bro.
Congratulations, congratulations to
Yes.
Momodu Gajaga. And that was the sports reporting category for the 2025 National Journalism Awards. Sankule.
Momodu Gajaga for being the winner of sports category. And next is tourism and arts. And the nominees are
Tourism, Culture, Arts and Entertainment Reporting category nominees: Awasane, Star TV. Story title: Need for Reviving Ancient Poetry, Significance of Traditional Jar Making. Mamadou Lamin Choi, the Gambia Radio and Television Services. Story title: Efforts underway to revive Kunta Kinte Island, formerly James Island. Pamodu Cham, freelance journalist. Story title: The Fading Lines of Identity, Preserving the Fuller Traditional Mask in the Gambia.
Ladies and gentlemen, your nominees. I have the single honor to call on Mamu Sawane of Gambia Tourism Board. And this category was funded by the Gambia Tourism Board. Welcome on stage, Mamu Sawane.
not working. No, it is good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I refuse to read the winner for this morning, unless you pay some money. Anyway, on behalf of the Gambia Tourism Board, I am pleased to announce the winner for tonight, being Tourism, Culture and Arts Entertainment, Mr. Momodou Lamin Choi.
Okay. Congratulations to Momodou Lamin Choi. Apparently he's not around, he's not in the country, he's studying in the People's Republic of China, but we have his father to receive the award on his behalf. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I am pleased to inform you that the next time we organize what we call educational tours, these tours are meant to introduce journalists to some of the unique tourist attractions of the Gambia, and often we invite international press and the local and domestic press as well. We call it domestic tourism promotions. So the next time we organize a tour, Mr. Choi would be part of that tour so that we can introduce him officially to tourism attractions and sounds of the Gambia.
Father Jane, the next category.
Thank you very much. When we say congratulations to Momodou Lamin Choi, and the next category is Women's Affairs Reporting, and the nominees are?
Women's Reporting category nominees: Aminata E. Sanyang, Gambia Radio and Television Services. Story title: The Gambian Women Showing the Way on Climate Action. Kadi Chao Malagan, story title: Stained by Period Blood, Girls Are Pushed Out of School. Nima Silla, The Voice newspaper, story title: Tava Addiction Dangers It Poses Among Gambian Women and Girls.
All right. Thank you, and those are your nominees, and we'll have the privilege and honor to invite Mr. Diba from the National Social Protection Agency to do us the honors and present this award. A round of applause, please.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Once again, the National Social Protection Agency, through its project, the Vulnerable Youth and Women Support Project, works to empower women and out-of-school youth. In line with that, we are honored to be associated with this award, and the winner is Nima Silla.
Thank you very much, Salih, for stepping in. Congratulations to Nima as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Diba, and the category has been funded by the National Social Protection Agency.
Indeed, and they are our main sponsors for this year's awards ceremony. Next is a special awards reporting FGM/FGM. Please, and we have the honor to call on Who are we calling out for?
Our gay.
Our gay. Our gay, please come on stage to announce the winner of Special Reporting class FGM.
A round of applause, please.
Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure to announce the winner for the category on FGM, which is Kadi Jao. Miss Kadi Jao.
Thank you very much, our guy. And congratulations to Khadija Jawar. Thank you. Thank you very much and congratulations to Khadija. And thank you, our guy, for doing us the honor. Our guy, ESQ. Thank you. And we now have the political reporting category, which we called on earlier because Nene was actually not around, but we have the honors to invite Mr. Esa So to help us present this award. Thank you.
Esa So, Gambia Teachers Union and a board member of MAJAC. Please welcome on stage, sir.
Good morning. I have the singular honor and pleasure to announce the winner for the political reporting category award. And it goes to nobody else other than Yankuba Jallo.
Congratulations to Yankuba Jallo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so just a short one. It's like it has always been monotonous. So I'm also putting out something, a challenge to all the newspaper journalists, that next 2 years, because it's going to be 2 years, that we come in here and dominate. No, yeah. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Well, what was the thing that you said in Mandinka before Liro, what?
Futata Tongotole, like it's almost at the end. Yes.
Okay. Liro Futata
It has been a long day already.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time when everybody gets to know who the very best journalist is in this country. And it is that time of the night when I say I am honored to call on the Honorable Minister of Information to call on stage and announce the Journalist of the Year 2025.
Thank you. This way. All right, okay. It's here. Where is it? All right. Good morning. Before I announce the Journalist of the Year, I have one is an observation and one is a plea. For the observation, there's a category called women's affairs. What is men's affairs? I hope that next time we'll have that. And the second plea is that we would like to have the exclusive right, the Minister of Information, to fund the Journalist of the Year category next year.
Hey, Doc, and what are you going to put on the table for the journalists? This is the biggest award. It must be something huge, I'm sure.
We can negotiate that when the time comes. Going to the Journalist of the Year, I was telling Honorable Sidinjai that he swept the polls. He swept the polls. I'm giving you a clue. Who swept the polls tonight? Mustafa Kedab of the Republic.
Standing ovation for the man. Oh boy. Mustafa K. Dabo is the Journalist of the Year 2025. Hold on, Doctor, wait. The Information Minister promised next year they will fund it. But there's an interesting part. This year, as the winner of Journalist of the Year, DG Construction is handing over a plot of land to Mustafa Kedabo as the winner of Journalist of the Year. And we have the CEO, please come on stage to come and hand over the document to Mustafa Dabo. Now I wonder what Doctor is going to do next year.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Musa Fati, the MD and CEO of DG Construction and Real Estate Company Limited. As saying goes, once a journalist is still a journalist. So I'm proud as a company to associate myself with Gambia Press Union Annual Award. As a former journalist and also as an entrepreneur, when I was approached by the president, I said to just 2 days ago that this is what they have at hand, and they are looking for someone. I thought it wise as a Gambian and also as a young entrepreneur and also as a former journalist to step in to satisfy whoever is going to be the best journalist of the year. I promised the person a plot of land, and it's going to be 20 by 20. So as we speak, I have the pledge here already. It's 20 by 20. We are going to provide to Mustafa. He will come to the office by Monday. Come to the office on Monday. We do the arrangement and then just where we can take it from. Thank you very much.
Say something?
We can't let you go without saying anything. Because, come on, man. We want to know what your secret is. Please tell us. What is your secret to sweeping the polls all the time, big time that you participate?
There is no secret in journalism. Hello. Well, I don't, there is no secret in journalism. Maybe if there is any certitude would tell us. As they say, all protocols duly observed. I'm very happy to be here. And like I said, 10 years for us, it's a very long time. And when this award started, I could remember the first one was done at Jammeh. And it's personal for me because my friend was the Secretary General at the time. And, you know, the situation was different. We had NIA here meddling into affairs. Journalism was a bit tough. Even elementary things such as writing about defection of opposition parties to APRC gets you arrested. It's a difficult situation. This award started under that circumstances. And of course, you could tell even back then when Jammeh sees the media that he thinks deserves only prison, have gathered at Jammeh Hotel and they are celebrating one moment of happiness and all of that. I can imagine he will be furious even with that. And it's a huge success now, and thanks largely to not just Sekou, but all the people who had, you know, come to the Gambia Press Union and make sure that a day like this continues to exist. And now, here we are, I mean, under a different administration. I mean, with all the bots, we can now call other people investigative journalists who go home at 11 o'clock or at 10 o'clock, not fearing that there is some NIA guy tailing them. It's quite a distance we traveled. And maybe we should appreciate some little things. And that's not to say in praise of Barrow administration. I'm not a politician, as you know. I'm just saying that to say that we have an opportunity as journalists to make things work. And quite a number of times, many who have followed our career know that we have done a number of stories, whether when I was at Malagan or now at the Republic, that has caused public outrage, forced government to do something. And that is possible with journalism. And we have the opportunity to reach people who are otherwise abandoned. I remember doing a story about two children, 12-year-old children, who were raped by a British national. And I followed this story, and this story is still public. You can read it on Malagan. And having come to realize that the police have lied to me, that in fact they said nothing happened, when the doctor who examined the two children said something happened to them. I followed it up, got to know who the doctor eventually was, got to know what the medical report says, got to have evidences gathered to confirm, in fact, there was a rape. And then came to learn later on that the parents actually had negotiated a way out. And they each got $5,000 to collaborate with the policeman to kill the case. And that's the kind of story we told. That's the kind of environment we live in. It's part of things. And having to follow stories like that is not a convenient one to do all the time, but it's a necessary thing to do. And I have had to get a call from one of the parents to say, to accuse me of having a vendetta to settle with the white man, and that I should let it go. I was going to the village and I sent a message to a friend my friend Yahya Jammeh, who was then the editor of Malagan. It's my friend, and we started Malagan together. And I said to him that I have never had to deal with protecting a child from a father. I've never thought I would deal with defending a child from his own father. And I remembered I was having a conversation, 2-hour conversation with the 2 parents in the police station before I left. Because the whole point was to make me convinced that nothing happened. So they had to wait for me at the police station because they had already arranged that with the police officer to tell me a fake story. And so they had all agreed. And one of the parents told me something that stayed with me much later after on. Because sometimes you hear things, you only make sense of them 2 weeks later. And he told me, so if we are interested in this case, what would even happen? Had we followed it, we will just follow it and go to the case all the time. But there will be no justice. Yeah. And that speaks to the kind of story of sexual violence happening in this society. It is happening in this society. It's negotiated. Orders are talked out of it. Family is utilized. Connections are utilized to ensure people who are abused are silenced. And then I thought, before I judge, how about if the father did not leave a bag of rice at his house? If I have to be in a position to decide whether to collect $5,000 to get justice for $5,000 from a white man who raped a 75-year-old white man, who raped an 11-year-old child. I've had to take $5,000 from him. And I thought, how about if he had not left a bag of rice at his house? If I were in his shoes like that, what would I have done? That's the kind of reality you deal with if you are a journalist. And that's not to my credit, quite frankly. I mean, my career has been built on the support of others. I just mentioned Sekti Jansi. He was our earlier trainer here. I mean, not just me, Dija Jao. So you could say you have prodigies in Gambia. And that's just to say that, and also to say that it's 10 years, and we are celebrating 10 years of efforts of people like Yahya Jammeh also, I mean, who started these awards. I mean, like I said, when he started it, I told him it's not going to work. And efforts of others, you know, incredible people. By Emil Job, I don't know, by Emil Ture, I don't know if he's here. He's my former friend now, so I forgot his surname. That's sometimes that happens in life too. Terrace, I think you want me to call you. But that's it. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for all the support I've received throughout my career, and that for us this is the beginning. We're not quitting this for politics, so we'll be here for many years from now. People in my family live longer.
And I'm sure you will live longer as well, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, our journalist of the year 2025. Another round of applause, please.
Sankule. Yes, and Mustafa, congratulations. Journalist of the Year. Of course, thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And thank you to the Honorable Minister of Information for presenting that award. And Sankule, just one thing before we go, we would like to acknowledge, of course, the sponsors, partners will have Mr. Mudu Esju deliver the vote of thanks from the Gambia Press Union. And just one thing before he comes in, it's the 16 days of activism. And Mustafa actually shared a very emotional story of a young girl, a teenager for that matter, and a minor for that matter, Sankule. Gender-based violence remains a prevalent global issue, of course, disproportionately affecting women and girls. And I know, of course, the Gambia has laws, there are protocols, frameworks, but implementation has always been a problem. We need laws that would protect women and girls in this country. And I'm also happy and glad that we have the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Of course, we do know the National Assembly is among the three arms of the government, very influential in making some of these policies and decisions. So we implore on, of course, the National Assembly through the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable C.D. Eskenjai, to help us put some of these laws in place that will protect our young women and girls. It's really touching and really, really very emotional for me to actually hear that story. On that note, yes.
Indeed, before you introduce Mr. Juf, and I'm glad to say we also have the Clerk of the National Assembly,
yes,
Mr. Kalifambai is here as well.
Exactly, yes.
So we are lucky we have both of them. But for me,
yes.
I think it's the implementation, yes, the laws, but the enforcement rather. But imagine, Mustafa, imagine defending a child from her own parents. That is really sad. And like you say, 16 days of activism is here, so let's protect our sisters. Let's protect the young girls. Mr.
And have some of these conversations ongoing as well. Let's talk about them. Let's speak up. It's important.
Let's speak up, please.
Mr.
Let's speak up against violence against women. I mean, digital violence. We must not tolerate it. We must condemn it. And being a he for she, and I'm sure you are as well, will condemn it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our host tonight, Fatou Janembaye and Sankole Janko, for the wonderful work. This is where we'll be drawing the curtains, but before we do so, we would just like to acknowledge our guests tonight, everyone here present, but also on the high table, the spokesperson for the presidency, Madam Amibojang Sisoho, Mr. Mamadou Diba of the National Social Protection Agency, the GPU President, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, and the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, as well as our guest from Dakar, Hamidou Tijansi, who has contributed in his own ways. And I am also one of the people that we've trained on investigative journalism. We're proud to have you here tonight. But members of the diplomatic corps, civil society representatives, members of the media, and everyone here present, we would like to say thank you very much for coming. To the sponsors of the award, the National Social Protection Agency, the Chinese Embassy, the Gambia Football Federation, GT Board, the Gambia Revenue Authority, QCell, AfriCell, Lasting Solutions, R&A, Creation Plus, Just Design, the Media Academy, DG Constructions and Real Estate, Nene Chiasin Seka, Spice Hub, Le Maison de Bean, I'm not sure if I got that right, but it's House of Beans anyway. Yasmin Visuals, Yasmin Events and Deco, the National Human Rights Commission, and the Tailoring Shop Baxi Bombong. We want to say thank you to all for supporting the awards over the years, and for this year in particular. And the Gambia Press Union has decided that from next year, the award would not hold, it will be postponed for strategic reasons, and we want to reorganize and re-strategize for a better award in 2027. But also considering that there are going to be a lot of political events next year, probably this tight schedule of holding this annually and the difficulty also in pulling resources together would just let us re-strategize next year. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a safe journey home and good night. Thank you.